Following are 10 carefully reasoned geopolitical forecasts, developed with the help of AI for international political events and international relations in 2026. Based on observable trajectories during 2025, long-term structural trends, and comparative historical patterns, managed but fragile multipolar order will solidify. By 2026, the world will operate more clearly in multipolar systems, but without strong global coordination. Power will be balanced through tactical cooperation, not shared values. Institutions will function, but often slowly and selectively. US-China relations will remain competitive but stabilized. After sharp tensions in 2024 to 25, both sides will seek guardrails in 2026 to avoid economic or military shocks, especially around Taiwan, semiconductors, and AI. Competition continues in tech, defense, and influence. Crisis management channels quietly expand. No reset, but fewer surprises. Europe will move towards strategic autonomy unevenly. The EU will invest more in defense coordination, energy independence, and industrial policy. However, political fragmentation within Europe will limit speed and unity. Eastern and Western Europe will diverge in threat perception and fiscal tolerance. The Ukraine conflict will enter a long, frozen phase. By 2026, large-scale offensives decrease. Front lines largely stabilize, diplomatic efforts intensify without a final settlement. Ukraine remains aligned with the West, while Russia entrenches economically and militarily. This becomes a multi-year containment scenario, similar to Korea or Cyprus. Middle East will shift from war cycles to strategic deterrence. After intense instability in 2024 to 25, regional powers will prioritize deterrence and indirect engagement over open confrontation. Proxy activity continues. Direct war is avoided. Saudi Arabia and UAE play stronger mediating roles. Global South will gain political leverage, not unity. Countries in Africa, Latin America, and Southeast Asia will demand better trade, debt restructuring, and technology access. Will play major powers against each other, avoid firm alignment. However, the Global South will not act as a single bloc. Interests remain fragmented. Economic nationalism will deepen worldwide. In 2026, governments will prioritize domestic manufacturing, supply chain security, and strategic subsidies. Free trade rhetoric will continue, but economic sovereignty will dominate actual policy, especially in food, energy, chips, and AI. Technology will become the central diplomatic battleground. International relations will increasingly revolve around AI governance, cyber norms, space security, and semiconductor control. Technology agreements will matter as much as armed treaties once did. Expect tech alliances rather than universal rules. Climate diplomacy will shift from pledge to protection. Instead of new climate promises, states will focus on climate adaptation, borders, and resource security. Climate migration will rise as a diplomatic issue. Water, food, and heat resilience become national security matters. International institutions will survive, but lose moral authority. The UN, WTO, and similar bodies will continue operating, facilitate dialogue and aid, but will struggle to enforce norms. Power politics will increasingly bypass institutions, using them more as forums than rule enforcers. The geopolitics of 2026 will not be shaped by dramatic breakthroughs, but by quiet decisions, fragile balances, and the spaces where conflict is avoided rather than fog. This is not a forecast of certainty, but a reflection of direction. The story of 2026 will be written not by fate, but by choices made quietly, far from the spotlight.